to severe dementia patients, and you get predominantly side effects if you try and give it to a normal individual without any benefit at all. So the issue of taking these medications and saying, okay, well, do they apply? Can you just sort of give them, because they work in Alzheimer's patients, can you give them in other settings? I think we have to be very careful to see what the real data tells us should be done. Now, when you get to other drugs like, say, nicotine, caffeine, and ethanol, which are widely used, available legally, they are cognition-altering drugs. Do they really benefit anybody? I think that, certainly you can argue that, sitting down with somebody and having a cup of coffee has its social merits. I've never consumed much. I don't smoke, and I've never drank coffee, and I drink alcohol in extreme moderation, and I'm not sure that I am less successful in my life because of that. I don't think the people that drink more or smoke more really end up being more successful. We have to look very carefully, and this is where the FDA comes in terms of the safety issue. We really have to be extremely careful when we start introducing a new substance to society. I had, in college, I won't tell you where, I had roommates who were taking dexedrine and benzedrine to study for their tests. So I know exactly what's being talked about here. And on the one hand, you might consider it an unfair advantage. On the other hand, I don't think they really ended up doing any better in the long run. So I think this is sort of the myth that somehow you can take a drug and do better. I think you have to be really careful and look at a great deal of data to determine that. And that covers my fifth point. We really have to see what the cost and the adverse effects are over really long periods of time. And my sixth point, that I really think that to look at pathological processes, for instance, Alzheimer's disease, is a way